Hey, I'm Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. So there's a couple of things we want to talk about. I said I wanted to address imposter syndrome. I don't know how slow or fast this video may be, but we're going to get into it. So what does imposter syndrome mean to you? For me specifically, imposter syndrome just means I'm not who everybody else thinks I am. And I think that's triggering for me just because I'm not a pretender. Like, I'm somebody who is who I say I am, point blank, period. Every birthday, Ashley says happy birthday to the realest in the room because I feel like I'm the realest in the room, point blank, period, comment, semicolon. There is no exception. But, just addressing accomplishments and goals and triggers, I think that rolls really deep, and I know all of us can kind of tap into that and kind of see what that means for us, if that makes sense. So what is the root cause of imposter syndrome? I think for a lot of us, we have goals. And a lot of times if we don't reach those goals, or if they don't translate over in a manner that we would like, we don't feel like we are who we say we are. And that goes back to measuring yourself based on impossible standards. Also just measuring yourself, period. It's not to say that you don't hold yourself to a certain standard, but to just measure yourself to what accomplishments, quote unquote, are. It's not always valuable and it's not always healthy, because as a human, why don't we get to just exist? Why is our existence always based off of what we've accomplished, what grades we made, what goals we have, what career we're in? Why isn't just being enough? A snail gets to just slither along. Why doesn't a human get to? I think that's something that we all need to tap into, and we all have to be self-aware about, point blank, period, And as a super ambitious person, as a person that as I accomplish one goal, I'm on to the next one, I have to tell myself that too. So I have to say that to other people, just extending grace to ourselves, right? I don't think that is a terrible thing. Are you comfortable celebrating yourself? And the reason I say that is because imposter syndrome makes it hard for us to even acknowledge the little or big things we do. The little things aren't enough. And even the big things aren't, because we have such a high list and so many things that we're trying to get to. So everything that we accomplish is never enough. And it's just like, bruh, it is enough. What you do is enough. There's so many people that aren't doing things on a day-to-day basis. And it's not about comparing yourself to people. It's about being able to acknowledge that I am doing something. Every day I am doing some kind of work to be the best version of myself. And that holds value. No matter what anyone says, it holds value. And you have to give yourself that, because the reality is everybody won't give you your flowers. So if the other people in the world that see you doing the work won't give you your flowers, you have to give it to yourself. If you have to plant the garden yourself, get the seeds and get the water. And that's just what it is. Do you measure your worth based on productivity? I have realized that was something that I struggled with in the past. Like, if I didn't meet certain goals and certain quotas, I was feeling unaccomplished. And that's just not true. There aren't any tangible and measurable things that could ever just say the things that we went through, overcame, accomplished. You know what you went through, and most people know what they've endured. And it's just like, there is no tangible market, graph, etc., to actually display what you went through and overcome to get to where you are. So you have to be realistic and factoring in what you've gone through, factoring your experience, and being honest enough with yourself to say, I've put in work and it's good, and I appreciate that, and I'm grateful for that, and I am doing the best that I can to advance forward. And that holds so much value. God is present in every part of that journey. That holds so much value. Don't let anyone take away from that. Have you allowed yourself the space to just be and exist? I could take a deep breath and say that I know for a long time I didn't give myself that. I'm super ambitious. I'm super hardworking. I'm super always on the next task. That's just an Ashley thing. That's just me. I was raised by a dad that let me know good enough was never enough, and to work super hard. And I don't resent him for that at all. He always made me tap into the highest of my potential. But a part of that was just also not acknowledging the joy in the moment of my accomplishments, and not just being able to sit with the things that I've accomplished, because a lot of times I'm just on to the next thing. So Give yourself the grace to at least acknowledge the good things you've done. Pat yourself on the back. Celebrate yourself. If nobody else celebrates you, celebrate yourself. And nothing is wrong with that. That is the best thing. You don't need to wait for someone else to say you did a good job. Acknowledge you. Say you did a good job. You did that shit. Whatever it is, you did that shit. You did it. And give it to yourself. I swear it's such a good feeling. I swear. And you deserve it. Every woman deserves it. Black woman, you deserve that. You really do. We're on a journey together. I'm here to talk about everything with you. I'm here to tap into everything with you. This channel is going to go far because we're going to go deep. This is just a light surface. I swear to God, this is light part. We're going deep. But give yourself your flowers. Pat yourself on the back. You did that shit and it's great. And I'm proud of you if nobody else said it. I'm proud of you. I know what it takes. I know the prayer. I know the striving. I know the endurance. I know the pain. But you made it somewhere, and that matters. It holds so much value. So clarify the facts. Did you accomplish that goal? Did you do that thing? Did you break that record? Did you show what the fuck up? It matters because when you clarify those facts, it takes yourself out of the equation. It takes opinion out of the equation. It takes taste and preference out of the equation. And it gets you to measure what you actually did, which is something great and sometimes difficult. And like we know as Black women, a lot of times it's hard. A lot of times we weren't allotted the space to even enjoy that. So give yourself the grace to acknowledge that you fought through so many different adversities to actually give yourself something that was monumental. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I want all of us to have that. I want all of us to actually be able to tap into that and just be honest with ourselves about what we've accomplished. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. Whatever you've endured, it's a beautiful thing. You're in your own lane. So when I say you're in your own lane, it's easy for us to compare ourselves to others. I feel like the culture that we've grown up in every avenue, is to compare ourselves to somebody else. And I've always said, as a person that has 3 siblings or older sibling, don't compare me to anyone else. You know why? I'm me. God brought me here as me. I know there's people that I'm connected to naturally, relatively, but I'm myself. And when you hold me up to a standard of somebody else, it just doesn't even make sense because God put these genes together as they were, these chromosomes together as they were. And I'm not that person and they are not me. So holding us together as a measuring stick doesn't even make sense because we're not the same people. We may have come from the same genes, but they're articulated completely different. And that is okay. We just have to extend our grace to ourselves to endure that, enjoy that, and actually embrace that. And again, comparison is the thief of joy. Because as long as you compare yourself to other people, you take away from what you already have. You take away from who you are. You take away from the fact that who God made you to be was already beautiful. Excuse me, that was gross. But seriously, God already made you whole. So if God made you whole, it doesn't matter who someone else compares you to because it's irrelevant. You aren't that person. You're on your own path. You're on your own ministry. Like my dad always says, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So when people compare you to other people, it doesn't even make sense because of seasons. Our seasons in our lives do not mimic identically to anyone else's season. So it doesn't even make sense. We have to occupy the lane that we've been given to the best of our ability because that's who God planned us and planted us to be. You know what I'm saying? I hope this made sense. This is a super short video, but I hope this made sense. And I hope you guys tap back in to another video. So like, comment, and subscribe. Let's engage. And let's try to be the best version of ourselves going into 2024. Point blank, period.